All right, so let's get in and start laying this guy out. So the first thing I want to mention is the BPM will be 100 BPM, and the key that I chose to do it in was F. Now, the reason I chose F is because F has a very strong resonant sub note. Okay, so did you ever notice that like if you try to like play a sub in like maybe D or A, it doesn't really sound so great, but if you play a sub in F or G or F sharp or E, it really drops. Okay, so I choose to write a lot of my heavier music in F because, again, it's just a very heavy note. Okay, cool. So keep that in mind while we're designing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over to my folder here, and I'm going to go into my audio stems, and I'm going to grab myself my booms, okay? And I'm going to bring them in. Now, I've got them already kind of laid out for you. I want to mention that if you want to learn like the finer points and the details of how to get down and dirty and do the nitty-gritty of cinematic trailer music and understanding like the arrangement and the why behind all of it, then there's several courses on this site for that, and I highly recommend taking them because they're amazing. But in this course, we're learning how to take these sounds that we've synthesized and make them full and big and into a really nice sounding cue. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and it's my primary objective to show you how to take these sounds that we've made together, and show you that they can be really made to be huge and they fit perfectly into this kind of a cue style. Okay, again, the basis of why I'm laying it out like this, I'll try to touch upon it as much as I can, but again, that's a little outside the scope of this course. So the first thing to keep in mind is everything happens in cycles of 4 or 8. Okay, so right away, I can go ahead and start laying out some of my. I can just lay out some of what's going to happen here. So if I go up into this little section where my mouse turns into like a radio kind of speaker thing, I could right click and I could add a locator. And then I can call this intro. Okay, and I could slide this around. So I'll just put that right in the beginning. So now, what also I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into here and switch this to 1 bar. So now we can kind of see what's going on. I can clearly see. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. So I'm going to go ahead and put another marker right here. And this we're going to write in build because this is where we're going to put our build. Okay? So right after we do our build, a lot of times, almost always in cinematic trailer music, we have to add these breaks in, either 1 or 2 measure breaks. Now, one thing to keep in mind with trailer music, and the reason I always start out with booms, is because, of course it's music, but what we're doing here is we're creating a sonic palette to get people interested into a movie or a show or something, right? So each of these hits ends up being a really good edit point for the videographer or whoever's putting together or whoever's putting together the trailer. Okay, so these are super important again for actually getting your stuff licensed and for fitting into this mold because everything has a mold, right? Cool. So here we go. I got our break right here. So then this is going to be our first kind of like this is the body. Okay, this is the meat and potatoes of what's happening here. Okay, and then we're gonna have that go for probably 8 bars. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here we're gonna have another break. So again, like I said, there's breaks in between all the parts. Again, because what if the editor just wants to use this section here or just wants to use this section here? We have these breaks that kind of separate out our cue. Hopefully they want the whole thing, Cool. And then we're gonna, then we're gonna click here and we've got our climax. Okay. And right at the end, you got your coming soon Brahm. Okay, now this thing's pretty much laid out for us. We kind of know what we want to do as we already. And this is very typical of what I would do. I would definitely lay out my plan, see how long I wanted it to be, whether it was a full 2.5 minute cue or if it's going to be just like a 60-second cue or even a 30-second TV spot. I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to lay out my blueprint, and then I'm going to start filling things in. Okay, from here, let's go back into our folder and let's grab ourselves some of these epic hits, right? So we can't have trailer music, right, without these epic hits. So let's bring these guys in. And the way I've done this for you is I've kind of stemmed them out so everything kind of lines right up. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and bring these down in volume a little bit. I like to start at around -10. That way I give myself a little bit of headroom. Just turn up the volume, no big deal. Cool. And I always like to keep a little limiter on my master, and I keep my ceiling down for the sake of the video. Cool. Just to let you know, I love all Ableton's default audio effects. This limiter's atrocious. In fact, I'm not even going to use it. My recommendation to you is Pro L. Pro L is amazing. I go over here, I set it to like even louder, and then again we could just leave this like maybe set to 2, and I could set myself to -3. That's just for the video, -3. I gotta give myself some headroom. Cool. Great. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've got ourselves, and remember guys, Command R renames. So go over here and set boom, and then we've got our epic hits. Okay, and let's go ahead and bring in some more percussion, and then we'll be ready to start actually having some fun with those presets. So let's go ahead over here again, up down here, perfect. And we're gonna go ahead and grab our tops. Okay, let's see what these are. Okay, let's bring that down a bit. Nice, epic. And we got some percussion here. Okay, bring this guy down a little bit. Okay, I'm digging it. And let's go ahead and bring in our crash, of course. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's looking good. And perfect. Okay. So from here, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Okay, I like to keep the booms by themselves because, like I said, they're my edit points, right? That's kind of the roadmap. So I'm going to leave that guy just chilling. Okay, we'll leave it open a little bit so we can see it. Now these epic hits, again, I like to leave them out of any kind of grouping because, again, to me, they're like the really like that's the thing that gets people kind of going, you know. So we're gonna give these extra special attention. Now the tops, the perk, and the cymbals here, these could be grouped. So we'll select all of these and hit Command G and put them in a group, and we can call these like our percussion group. Okay. And we could even get crazy and, you know, maybe color it green and then select all these guys and, you know, color them green too. And you could even go into here and select all them and color them green too. So depending upon how crazy you want to get. Okay, so now we've got ourselves some percussion, some epic hits, and a boom. And I have one more group I want to add, and this is going to be my effects group. Now again, I went ahead and just stemmed out my effects group. All my effects stems were, I don't know, there might have been 15 effects tracks, but I just put them all into one group for you. You don't have to use this. Feel free to if you'd like to, or do your own effects. No big deal. So here we go, and I'm going to bring them down in volume a bit too. Dope. Okay, so we are ready to start designing, start having some fun with our MIDI, with our presets. We're at a pretty good spot right here. So don't forget to save your work, Command S saves. And, you never know. You don't want to be rocking out and then, power turns off or something. And that's happened to me before. Cool. I'll catch you in the next video and we'll start getting creative with those presets. All right, see ya.